Hi guys, and welcome to another video on this channel. This video is about the splice method in JavaScript. Splice is a method that you use on arrays and it has a number of useful uses. It's different than the slice method, which I also have a video on. Yes, you can see that video. I'm gonna link it here above. Um, and yeah, so let's get on with the splice method. Now the slice method, which I linked above, doesn't modify the array that it's called on. It basically returns a new array, while the splice method, it modifies the array you call it on by deleting whatever elements you tell him to delete, and also add some elements if you tell him to add some tell it to add some elements as well. But it also returns an array with the elements that you have deleted in case you want to keep them in storage, in some other storage, right? So let's see what does the splice method accept. First of all, the first parameter would be a start index, which is the index you wanted to start the deleting with. So if you pass 3, it will start deleting from the index 3. Now I put the elements in the array so they match with the index, because indexes start from 0. So the index of 0 is 0, the index of 1 is 1. Now this could be any elements, but I put them as numbers so we can see exactly what the index would be at this position, right? So if I would pass here 3, it will start from 3. And then you tell him, starting with that element, how many elements you want to delete. Number of elements to delete, right? And then after this, you can pass an infinite number, like how many elements you want to add one after the other. You can specify them, and it will put those elements in the array right in the place where you have deleted a number of elements from. So you could pass like an infinite number of parameters after this, and it will add them in that place where you have deleted from. And we will see all of these cases one by one. Now let's see what happens if you pass just a start index, so the index from which to delete. Then it will take the number of items to delete, all the items starting from that index up to the end of the array. So basically, if you say splice 3, you will delete all the elements from index 3 up to the end. So you could use this if you wanted to only keep the first 3 elements from the array, for example. So if you only need the 3 elements from the array, you will say elements splice 3, and then it will only keep the 3 elements from the array. Now this is a bit different than how the slice method is used to keep only the first 3 elements from the array, but you can also use the splice method, but it will modify the original array directly, right? So let's see what happens if we call this. It will basically delete all these elements starting from the index of 3 up to the end, and it will return them in deleted elements because it returns them. So when you call the method on the array, it returns them and it modifies the array. So let's see, I put here deleted elements, deleted elements, and elements, and let's see what we get for that. So the deleted elements, like I said, are from the index of 3 up to the end, and you are only left with the other elements. Now let's see what happens if we also pass how many elements we want to cut. Obviously, it will cut just 2 elements if you pass 2. So we call this again, and now we have deleted elements just 3 and 4, and we are left with, what we are left with is this 0, 1, 2. This is cut, so 0, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we basically just cut these elements right out of the array, right? So remember, you can now it's also good to know like what if you want to cut the last uh, two elements from the array. Maybe then you would pass here a negative index -2, and you wouldn't pass nothing because you basically start from the -2 and it will go up to the end. So this will basically cut all the elements from here. It will cut them off, and you would be only left with this, right? Do this, it cuts 8 and 9, and you're only left with this. And now let's see what would happen if I also pass some elements. So let's say I pass the index of 1, starting with 1, and I delete 2 elements. So it will delete this, and then I pass other 2 elements. Let's say 2 strings, Marianne and Silvio. Then what would happen? It will start from the index of 1, it will delete 2 elements, these 2, and instead of them it will put this one. Now you can have here, like I said, how many elements you want. You could have another 9, another 9, another 9, another 10, right? So now it will delete 1 and 2 from here, because you said start from 1 and delete 2 elements, and it will put all of these instead of those. Let's clear this and say, and as you can see, it has deleted 1 and 2, and instead of it has put 0, Marianne, Silvio, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 10, 3, 4, and so on. So basically it deleted some elements, and instead of them it put all these elements that you passed it. Okay, so it's good to know that this method can be used if you want basically to kind of put directly at one position in the array. You want to put some elements without deleting anything. You can say, okay, I want at index of 1, you don't pass the second element, right? Well, as the second element, as the number of elements to delete, you want to pass 0, right? So you want 0 elements to be deleted, and then you want to add this. So what's gonna happen here? Check it out. As you can see, okay, but we have already changed this array, so it will it shows a bit weird. Oh no. yeah, I was confused a little bit. Okay, let's clear this. I was confused a little bit, yeah, because there are too many elements here. So let's delete this, right? Okay, so we say from the index of 1, delete 0 elements, so it will not delete not even the one at index 1, and insert these elements. So what's going to happen here? It will insert just before the index you passed. It will insert those elements, right? If you look, deleted elements, it's empty because it didn't delete any, and then you can see 0, which is this, and then it has inserted right before that index. It has inserted, so it basically put this position, the first element that you have passed, it put it at position at the index of 1 instead of what was there before. So for example, let's say you want to put a certain value at to be at a certain index in an array. So you want it to be at a certain index. Let's say you want to put the value maybe 27 or something. You want it to put it at index of 4. Then you basically say at position 4, don't delete nothing, put 27, right? And now at the index of 4, which will be the 5th element in the array, you would get the element 27, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th element is 27, right? And if you want, for example, the end element of an array, so the end element to be basically 27, you just want to pass here n minus 1, whatever n is, and it will put the element that you pass, or the number of elements that you pass, starting from that position. So if you pass just one, and uh, this this element that you pass would be at the end position in the array. Right, so as you can see, this is a very useful method. You can do so many things with it. So make sure you understand it properly and practice with it, because it will help you in the long term so much. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, please give a like and subscribe. It does help with the YouTube algorithm, and I'll see you next time. If you have any questions about this method, anything you didn't understand, please leave a comment, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.